Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be filming my March? What? Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be telling you about the books that I read in the month of November. I did actually read and finish a couple books in November, and when I say a couple, I mean a couple. I read 2, which is great because I had 3 books on my TBR and I read 2 of those. So I'm proud of myself. Plus my TBR was done like over halfway through November, so I only read during like the last week and a half of November, and I was able to read these 2 books, so I'm proud of myself. I am proud of myself. Sorry if this video is like super rushed because I only have 4 minutes left on my memory card, so I really want to try to get this done before my memory card fills up. Anyway, the first book that I was able to finish in November was finally Apollyon by Jennifer L. Armentrout. You guys know I've been trying to read this book for such a long time. I had been like 70 pages from the end for like 3 months or something like that. So I finally finished this book. I ended up giving it 4.5 stars, which is interesting because while I was reading it originally, I was prepared to give it 5 when I finished it. But the end, the last like 70 pages, and I realized really about the last 100 probably, were just very kind of, they dragged a lot. And yes, it added a lot to the story. It was important stuff, but it just kind of got to the point where I just felt a lot of the things that they were saying and finding out were very repetitive, and it felt like it was dragging a little bit, and the kind of big fight scene at the end was just kind of lackluster for me. So I gave this book 4.5 stars instead of 5 stars like I was expecting. The third book is still my favorite, I think. This one was still great even though I only gave it 4.5 stars. The end just was too slow for me to feel like it deserved 5 stars. But I still really enjoyed this book. I really enjoy this series. I'm not going to go right into the 5th book right away, but I hopefully can read that in the beginning of next year. I am really excited to see how this ends. I do think this series doesn't get enough credit. It gets a lot of crap, and I kind of understand why, but at the same time I do feel like it's its own series and it really should get more credit. I wish more people would try it, but hey, I totally understand if you don't like it. If I didn't love Vampire Academy so much, I might not like this if you don't know anything about that kind of thing. It's just that there's a lot of similarities between this book and Vampire Academy, which I don't mind. I love Vampire Academy, so I like that this is so similar, but I do feel like it's its own story, especially now that it's farther into the series. But I did really enjoy this book. It just kind of fell a little flat for me towards the end, so I couldn't give it a full 5 stars, but I still really enjoyed it, and I still highly recommend that you read this series and give it a try. If you like Vampire Academy, I definitely recommend this series. The last book that I was able to finish this month was Rule by J. Crownover. I did finish this book. Sorry if I have moved a little bit. I did have to switch my memory card. I couldn't ramble fast enough. But anyway, so I was talking about Rule by J. Crownover. I finally was able to finish this book. If you guys saw my November TBR, then you know I was kind of having a little bit of trouble with this. First, because I was so ecstatically happy with my own romantic life that I just wasn't impressed by this or any other romance book or book in general. I was just so into my love life and my social life and everything like that that I just couldn't get into a book. I couldn't focus on it, and I couldn't be into another romance story. So first that was a problem, and then I was so depressed over my love life that I just hated every male character that I read about, and especially Rule, because this book is kind of about this typical jerk. You guys know that's kind of the same MO for a lot of new adult stories. This is the first book in the Marked Men series by J. Crownover, and it's just about a bunch of guys that are tattooed and players and, you know, kind of have that reputation of sleeping around and not doing relationships and stuff, and Rule is no exception. He's got a rough past, he's got a bad relationship with his parents, and basically there is this girl in his life that is like a part of his family because she used to be very close with his twin brother who has passed away before the start of the book. And so things are just very strained with his family. Things are very strained between Rule and this girl, Shaw, the main female protagonist. And she's been in love with him her whole life. That's the kind of premise of this book. There's the kind of enemies to lovers kind of thing going here. And so it's just him kind of trying to figure out his life and his feelings and work things out with his family, figure things out with Shaw, because obviously, you know, romance comes from it. That's what it is, a new adult romance. So even though they are not really friends and they're not on good terms, then you know that something's gonna come of it, obviously. And so that's what that book is. I think up until right now I hadn't really decided what my rating was. I think I'm gonna give it a 4 stars. I kind of want to give it a 4.5 because I did really enjoy it, but it wasn't my favorite, and like I said, I don't want to rate it based on like my emotional state, because even though I was feeling better when I read it, I still was having trouble reading it when I was kind of more depressed because I hated the douchebag character and it just was hard to read. So I don't want to rate it based on those feelings, but I am really glad that I read this book. Even though like things that were going on in my life were not really similar to that situation, a lot of the advice and the healing that happened in this book were extremely helpful for me and what I was going through, and a lot of the feelings that Shaw was feeling throughout the book were a lot of what I was feeling, a lot of what Rule was feeling, I was feeling. So I feel like it was very therapeutic for me, and the healing in the book was very good for me as well. It was very helpful for what I was going through, or what I have been going through, even though my situation is not at all like theirs. So I think I'm going to go ahead and rate this book 4 stars, maybe 4.25. I think that might be more accurate for how I'd like to rate this book. I'm going to run out of space in 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Sorry guys, I had to switch my memory card again and now my battery is dying, so I have to go really quickly. Anyway, I think I'm going to give this book about 4.25 stars. I feel like I'm comfortable with that. I really enjoyed it. I would highly recommend it. Like I said, the healing part of the story was very important for me right now and what I'm going through, so I did really appreciate this book. I did end up really loving it. It was hard to put down once I finally committed to it and was reading it and enjoying it. I can't wait to read the rest of the books from the series. In these kind of new adult companion series, they set up the other guys' stories in each book, so I am really excited to continue with the series, not immediately because I do have a lot of series, new adult wise and young adult, that I need to kind of catch up on and continue, but I am really excited to eventually continue this series. Highly recommend it. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I think that's about it. Just 2 books, so I'm surprised this video is so long already, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys were able to read in the month of November and what your favorite book was this month. I was not able to get to November 9 because A, I didn't have time, and B, I just still feel like I'm not emotionally 100% there, so I really don't want that to influence my feelings about that book. So I'm gonna hold off on that for now, and hopefully I can get to it when I'm feeling 100% better in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you all very soon with another video, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye everyone!